I hope everybody's having a good day. I was just going to talk about how in addiction you feel hopeless and lonely and you feel like you don't have a way out. I just wanted everybody to know that I'm here for you. You can do it. It's not hard if you want it. If you don't want it, then it is hard. I got almost 2 years now. It don't really seem like it's been that long, but anyway. You just gotta believe in something higher than yourself. Like a higher power. It doesn't have to be God. It doesn't have to be Jesus. It just has to be like something that you believe in. Something that you think is greater than yourself. But at my lowest point, I was at 100, I think it was like 119 pounds is how much I weighed. It was pretty bad. I went to jail for 6 months. Then I went to rehab for another 3 months. And now I'm just trying to get my life back together. I lost everything when I went to jail. I lost my kids. I lost my house. And in the middle of addiction, I lost myself. It was hard to get myself back. I still really don't know who I am. But yeah, that was a really hard time in my life. I was with an abusive boyfriend. He was an asshole. Put me in the hospital a few times, stuff like that. So, it is a challenge when you don't have people around you that are helpful, when you don't have people around you that care about you, and you feel like you're all alone. It's really hard to get back to the way you think you should be. I know I only got 2 years sober, but there's some people out there that just need to hear how much they bring to the world, how much inspiration they give. I didn't really think I give any inspiration to anybody, but I've had a lot of people tell me that I do. But things just happen, You're not a bad person for being an addict. Don't let nobody tell you any different. But there is a way out. There's places and people that want to help you get better. There are rehabs you can go to. I know some of them they say is not the best rehabs to go to, because they say you can get more drugs in the rehab than you can out of the rehab. But you just gotta find the right fit for you. I went to ARC. It was a really good rehab to go to. You might not have an ARC where you're at. But yeah, some of the challenges that I faced was I went to jail, and when I was in jail, they took my daughter away from me. They took my parental rights away. So when I was going through rehab, I just didn't really see the point in getting clean, because I knew I wouldn't get her back. But I do have 2 other kids. I have a two other sons. I have a 16-year-old and I have a 4-year-old. And I do get to see them now, so that's a plus size. And the whole thing about my daughter, I know when she turns 18, she's going to look for me. It's just a matter of time. But yeah, it's really hard not knowing how she's doing or stuff like that. So I get really down about it sometimes, but I just keep my head up and keep telling myself that one of these days she's going to find me and, be happy to find me. And then I can tell her everything that went on. She knows that I've never lied to my kids. They knew that I was a drug addict. They knew that I was going through some stuff. And just remember, you're not a bad parent. You're just sick. You're just not 100% yourself when you're on drugs. Things can cloud your judgment, including drugs. It's really hard to see the other side when you're in the middle of it. But, if you do want to get clean and you want to, be better for yourself, and, I'm not going to say like when I first started getting high, it was the best feeling in the world. I was addicted to meth for like 11 years, 11 or 12 years. It was, when I first started getting high, I felt like I was on cloud nine. But then after a while, it got to the point where I just did it to get out of bed every morning, and it wasn't helping me in the least bit of any way. But just know that you're not alone. And, relapse is a part of recovery. So if you go for a while, you go for like 3 or 4 weeks and then you relapse, just learn from your mistakes, keep trying, don't give up. I've had a lot of friends die in this past year from overdoses, and I really wish they would have got help. It's just a really tough thing to go through, seeing your friends die and stuff. And then all the friends that I thought I had, they're not here no more, I can't hang out with them no more because they're still using, or they just don't care anymore about anything other than getting drugs. And pretty much my house was a place to go get drugs and get high. I had 4 indictments for trafficking in methamphetamine, and somebody ratted on me, and then I got put in jail, and they was giving me 11 years, but they let me go to rehab, and now I got 11 years over my head, and I'm on probation, and I gotta stay straight, so I can't be around the old people, places, and things that I used to get high at. It's really sad seeing some of the people that I still care about, in addiction. It's really hard for me to see people that I run around with and think that they're still in the madness and they're still, numbing themselves from the inside out, because when I was getting high, it was more of a numbing everything. And when my dad died, I was high. When my mom died, I was high. When I lost my kids, I was high. It's just a sad thing, And then when I got sober, everything hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I had to grieve for all the things that I didn't grieve for in the beginning. And it was really, really tough when everything hits you all at once. And I understand, that getting high numbs it, getting high helps you or whatever, but in the long run, it doesn't help anybody, because there's actually people out there that care about you, and you might think they don't, but they really do. and they worry about you all the time, but they just can't deal with you because you're always trying to get that fix. You're always trying to get high. You're always trying to get that next thing, you know? So just if you're out there and you're struggling and you really want to get sober, don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid to get help. If you're at your bottom, rock bottom, and you feel like you can't go on no more, you know, just remember that you do have people out here that care about you. I care about you. I might not know you, but I care about you, and I really want to see everybody succeed and everybody do good and everybody look at the bright side of things, you know, and live life. It's really hard to live life when you're high all the time because you're just worried about getting whatever next fix you can, you know, and if you have kids, it's even harder because they don't understand why, you know, you're always messed up or you're always doing this or you're always doing that. And it's really, you know, tough on them too. So, yeah, just believe in a higher power, God, whatever you want to believe in. They'll support, you can pray to them, they'll support you through it. But that's why I started this live stream, is to just talk with you guys. If you are struggling, just, you know, kind of reach out to people that are hurting, and, you know, be their support. Even though I might be far away from you, you know, I still want to hear your thoughts, your feelings, and try to, you know, help you get through those things. So whatever you're going through, just put it in the chat. If you have any questions, just put it in the chat. I will answer all those the best I can, you know. But I know for me, it was really hard when they took my kids away from me. It was a really bad time in my life. And then me being in jail on top of that was just, I couldn't do nothing. I was in jail just sitting there thinking about what was going to happen, how long I was going to be there. I didn't know how long I had to, you know, stay in jail. And for the most part, my daughter went to foster care and I didn't know where she was at, didn't know who she was with, you know, things like that I had to worry about. So, you know, it broke my heart when I heard that they took my parental rights away and that I couldn't get her back. And, you know, but I just keep the faith alive that she's going to come find me one day and I'll get that time with her while she's older. I missed out so much on her childhood. It's just really sad, but I just got to keep my spirits high and keep pushing through and keep going and just make sure I know that there's a brighter future for me if I stay off the drugs. Here recently, I've been having a lot of dreams about getting high. I have no idea why I've been having those dreams, but I think a lot of people say after their first year of sobriety, after they've gone a year sober, they do have dreams about getting high. Just things like that, you know. But I just wanted to start this live stream to, you know, open up to everybody. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. We can hang out. We can listen to music. We can do whatever y'all want to do. Just to, you know, get these things out in the open. You have somebody to talk to. You have somebody to ask questions if you need to ask questions. Just support. I figured we all could support each other and, you know, be there for each other and do, you know, some good in the world of addiction. I went through recovery and I went through like not the whole 6 months of rehab, but I went through 3 months of it. Um, and I really didn't learn that much in rehab that I didn't already know. It was more of me when I got out of rehab and started actually trying to live my life and stay away from the people that did the drugs and do other things like that. That was more helpful just to get my life back on track and figure out who I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. And I really want to help other people through this time. So, um, I'm probably going to post this onto YouTube um, and get that on YouTube. So if this is on YouTube and you're watching it, my Twitch thing should be in the description or the bio. I don't really have a schedule set yet to do these live streams, but the more followers I get, we'll get more into a schedule or whatever. I'm just kind of trying to get to know everybody, right now. So we'll probably be listening to music and stuff a lot on the live stream, not on YouTube because, copyright issues. But we'll just get things out in the open, talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to, say the cliche things, of stuff. I'm just going to give you my raw, honest opinion on things, how I felt, when I was getting high versus how I feel now. I do feel a whole lot better about myself and about my decisions and my clarity. Pretty much that's what I wanted, was clarity. I will say the healing process is somewhat painful because you go through the whole stage of thinking, I wasted so much of my life, and I wasted, my family's time, my kids' time, my brothers, my sisters, which I'm the only child, so I don't have any brothers and sisters, but if I did, they would probably have been worried about me. I know my mom was. She was very worried about me. She would always check up on me, make sure I was doing okay, but she was worried to death about me. And now that she's gone, I know I put her through hell, and I feel bad about it. But, I think she'd be really proud of the person that I became today. And I just got to look, on the bright side of things. I can't keep myself in the past, the things that happen. I've had several abusive relationships in the past. I've had my hip broken, my nose broke, my wrist broke, my tailbone, my ribs broke a couple times just because of the abuse. And I started using drugs because of the abuse. I was trying to escape it, trying to get away from it, trying to numb the pain of not being good enough, or, I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I was nothing. And when I was getting high, I felt better about myself. I felt like I was on cloud nine and everything was going good. But in reality, I was just slowly getting drained of all my, my personality, my feelings, everything was getting drained from me by using the drug. Life is a whole lot more better now. Things seem to, better choices, better outcomes, things like that. So, and I have made a lot of friends along the way, because in rehab, I made some lifelong friends. In jail, I made friends. Um, I went to a sober living house after I got out of rehab. I made friends there. I still talk to them. Um, there's always somebody out there that's going to help you through the process of, the whole making yourself better. You get a sponsor, you get somebody that can, help you through it. It always works out in the end. So, um, but I will try more to answer your questions, try more to, interact with you guys. The more followers I get, the more people that need to, have somebody to talk to, I'm here. I always, try to answer y'all's questions or whatever, or be totally honest with you. I don't want to sugarcoat anything or lie to you about anything like that. So whatever is on your mind, you can, ask me, talk to me about it. Just know that if you are in active addiction, that you're not a bad person. You're not, you're not a lost cause. There's people out there that care about you. I care about you. Just get yourself help if you want it. You have to want to be sober to get yourself help and get yourself off of, drugs or whatever. If you don't want it, then it's not going to work. You have to want it yourself. You can't want it because somebody else wants you to. You have to want it yourself. You have to, set your mind that you're going to do this, you're going to get sober, you're going to change your life around, stuff like that. Because if you don't have that mindset, then it's not going to happen. You're not going to get better. You're not, you're just going to go back to drugs. And I think that's pretty much it for today. But yeah, follow me on Twitch, or wherever, I might post this on YouTube, like I said, get some followers on there too. But, just look at the brighter side of everything. Keep your head up. I might try to live stream more often once I get more followers, more people, that need, this vent to just vent. And we'll talk back and forth. You can talk to me through chat or whatever. Or if you're on YouTube, you can talk to me through the comments on YouTube. I'll try my best to answer, as honestly as I can. I'm not going to lie to you about things. I'm not going to say I'm something I'm not. Just like I said, I only went to rehab for 3 months, but I wanted it. I wanted to be sober. I wanted to be better for myself and for my, family. Most of my, other family, like, only family I really have left is I have a cousin that helps me out. And then I have, I had my mom and dad, but they passed away before I even got the help that I needed. So I really don't have much family left. Just my cousin and a few other cousins that kind of don't talk to me no more. They don't want anything to do with me, which is fine with me. I'm totally fine with that. But I do have a lot more people around me that care about me, I will have to, like, my YouTube, I can't remember my username, so I'll have to send it to you. But I will send it to you, whatever. But, or I'll tell you in the next video. But yeah, that's about it for today. Just know that you're not alone. There's people out here, like me, that just want to inspire you to be a better person. Get your life together, do better for yourself, things like that. And I guess I'm going to get off here. And I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night or day, depending on where you are. and I will see you in the next live stream. Bye, y'all.